They are an inevitability of life. As drivers, we hate them. As garages, they bring in a lot of work if you are prepared for them. Drivers are going to hit them at some point, and when they do, they could cause serious damage to a vehicle. And workshops need to be prepared for the work that comes in. I am, of course, talking about the pothole.
According to data released by a new pothole partnership spearheaded by the AA, the breakdown group dealt with 632,000 incidents last year of tyre, wheel, steering and suspension damaged by potholes. If this was rounded up on a national scale, it would represent around 2 million vehicles affected by poor road maintenance. In fact, last year, pothole damage to vehicles cost a staggering £474 million, according to the new figures. Hitting a pothole can throw out a car's wheel alignment, and this is a service that garages should be offering. Wheel alignment checks are simple, straightforward, and profitable. I wanted to find out more, so I spoke to Andrew Bates, Managing Director at Straightset, to get his view on what garages should be doing when it comes to wheel alignment.
After a road traffic accident, I think potholes are the next biggest, most expensive issue that can happen to a vehicle. So for the motorist, it's shockingly expensive. Where garages can particularly make some sale out of this is if you're not offering wheel alignment, then you're missing out of a whole tranche of different services and opportunities that you could have. And if you're subcontracting out wheel alignment, then you're missing again out of a lot of work. You don't need to tell you what happens when a vehicle hits a pothole, from the ranked tyres to bent track rods and all the tracking that goes out. And then just the associated dangers of motorists driving vehicles, how that drives the crash repair industry from having accidents as a result of all that. For the customer and for the motorist out there, obviously they're a fact of life. We're not going to get rid of potholes tomorrow, but in terms of what workshops and dealerships can get out of it, not having wheel alignment is going to be missing out big time, particularly as we get onto EV vehicles, where there will not necessarily be as much engine work done. There's certainly not be as much exhaust work done, so you have to look for other revenue streams. And tyres and wheels and tracking and alignment, and tyre cells is going to be very much part and parcel and full centre in terms of where your income is going to be coming from in the future.
Therefore, adding a wheel alignment service into your garage business is an absolute no-brainer, especially in the winter months, when drivers are going to inevitably find the deepest pothole in their region. But just how easy is it to integrate wheel alignment into your business, and what benefits will your garage see from investing in wheel alignment?
Garages should invest in wheel alignment, because if the car's come to you, which has hit a pothole and you haven't got a wheel aligner, you cannot put it back where it needs to be. Potholes are good for garages because basically they bring in money for your door. Sadly, they damage vehicles on the road and you need a wheel aligner to put everything back in the correct position. A return on investment for the garages nowadays with a wheel aligner, you're probably looking 4 to 6 months on say a £7,500 investment, which is a typical sort of cost. Effectively, if you're looking at a wheel alignment being up for say £50 for front toe, maybe £80 if it's front and rear, you can see it's very quickly pays itself off. We had a customer who had done 750 wheel alignments in the last 6 months, and they were down in the back end of Cornwall, so not exactly like a big city.
It's not just wheel alignment that garages should be thinking about when it comes to inspecting pothole-related damage. The suspension itself can take quite a knock depending on the severity of the pothole impact, and if that fails as a safety critical item, drivers will find themselves in a whole world of trouble.
So potholes can be very damaging to vehicle suspension. We can where we are, we're quite a rural area. We see a lot of the vehicles on the road around here. The suspension components will wear out, at a faster rate than they will on a car that does say a lot of motorway mileage. So you can see by the road conditions, they're working a lot harder. They're moving a lot more. Most garages that you talk to these days, we'll carry out a complimentary sort of health check or vehicle check whilst the vehicle's in, just to make sure that the vehicle is safe. A good indicator of wear to steering and suspension is wear on the tyres. So the first thing you're going to get, you're going to see there's some wear on the tyres, whether whether the tyres have it's towing in or towing out too much. So it's cutting the edge on the tyres. From there, you would then advise the customer to say, look, there is some wear on your tyres. Would you like us to look at this a little bit deeper for you? It could be a straightforward wheel alignment. So being through a pothole, it's knocked the alignment out. Or it might be actually that there is some wear in the steering suspension. There could be a couple of ball joints that are worn or a bush that's worn. And obviously that's affecting the steering geometry. And obviously then, so that needs to be replaced, as well as then, the tyre and you'd advise as well a wheel alignment at the same time.
Now, when it comes to modern vehicles, there is another thing to consider, and that is ADAS. Advanced driver assistance systems are becoming more prolific in cars today, with everything from lane departure warnings, adaptive cruise control, and emergency braking systems fed by sensors that are prone to disruption if the wheel alignment is out, caused by a pothole strike. But should garages fear ADAS, or is it something that they can take advantage of and benefit from when it comes to servicing those pothole-related incidents?
To add ADAS and your wheel liner together is very easy. Once you've got the wheel aligner, you need your ADAS equipment and a diagnostic scanner. Most garages nowadays have got the wheel aligner and the diags tool, so you just need the actual ADAS frame to go in between. The same amount of damage could be caused with cars being knocked out. You need to be checking the ADAS after all of these jobs, especially on the modern big EVs. It's something which is coming. You've got no choice but to get on board, sadly. It's a nice and easy job. It's a hand clean job nowadays. It's more of a technical exercise than adjusting parts. Basically, you put the wheel aligner on the car, you confirm that's all okay, you move on to the ADAS, the diagnostics tool talks you through it, you press the button, and it calibrates ADAS for you. It's a nice, simple, safe job which needs to be done.
I'm not seeing a massive uptake at this moment in time from the independent sector. It tends to be driven by the motor vehicle manufacturers and the brands that's out there. But it will come. There's always a trickle down. When you get vehicles over the 8, 9, 10 years of age that don't go necessarily always go back to the brand sector. They'll go to independent, and it will be driven by how much demand's out there. But the other trend I'm tending to factor is that although the system tends to gear quite nicely to wheel alignment, some of the wheel alignment components actually fit into the ADAS calibration system. We're seeing as much impact in terms of what body shops do, because they're getting more involved in the crash repair. Now, whether that work gets done through the mechanical section or it's just done by the body shop, is that both sectors, both mechanical and body shop sectors, need to be aware of the opportunities that's out there for ADAS.
So pothole problems do present opportunities for garages, as unfortunate as they are. And if you're not offering wheel alignment, suspension checks or other services to do with potential wheel and suspension damage, you could be missing out. Drivers are inevitably going to hit these all year round, and when they do, they'll be looking for a business to take their vehicle to for repairs, or be looking for advice on what to do if their tracking is out. And if you're not ready, they won't be coming to you.